From the first motion picture inventor who disappeared on a train, to the first diesel engine creator who vanished at sea, to the first water car inventor who died with, "They poisoned me," as his last words. This is every brilliant inventor who mysteriously vanished after threatening billion-dollar industries. And you might want to buckle up, because these stories only get darker with each inventor. Like Louis Le Prince, who wasn't just another tinkerer, but the actual first person to create a working motion picture camera in 1888. 7 full years before the Lumiere brothers. 8 years before Thomas Edison's kinetoscope. His reputation was so solid that scientists still consider his Roundhay garden scene the oldest motion picture in existence. But Le Prince shocked the world when he never made it to his scheduled demonstration, because in September 1890, Le Prince was preparing for the trip of a lifetime. He had a public exhibition scheduled in New York to show his invention. Patents ready, presentation materials packed, his family waiting for him in America. On September 16, 1890, Le Prince boarded a train from Dijon to Paris. His brother Albert dropped him off at the station, saw him get on the train. When the train arrived in Paris, Le Prince wasn't on it. No body, no luggage, no camera equipment, no patents, nothing. The French police searched, Scotland Yard investigated. His family spent everything trying to find him. He was officially declared dead in 1897, 7 years later. But here's where things get suspicious. Just weeks after Le Prince disappeared, Thomas Edison filed a caveat for a motion picture camera, strikingly similar to Le Prince's design. Edison's earlier patent applications looked nothing like it. Then suddenly, after Le Prince vanishes, Edison's got the exact same technology. Le Prince's widow was convinced. She believed Edison was behind her husband's disappearance. So did Le Prince's son, Adolf. In 1901, Adolf Le Prince testified in court against Edison, trying to prove his father invented motion pictures first. He traveled the world collecting evidence. He had proof, documentation. His grandmother's death certificate showing she appeared in Le Prince's 1888 film. 2 years after the trial, Adolf Le Prince's body was found on Fire Island, New York, badly beaten. He was 29 years old. The case was never solved. Edison became the father of American cinema. The Lumiere brothers became the fathers of French cinema. And Louis Le Prince, the guy who actually invented it first? Gone. Vanished into thin air along with his entire invention. Today you can watch Roundhay garden scene online. 2 seconds of footage proving Le Prince did it first. The oldest motion picture in existence. Filmed in 1888. Its creator? Disappeared forever. But if you think motion pictures are big business, wait until you hear about Rudolf Diesel. 'Cause this guy invented the engine that powers basically everything heavy. Trucks, trains, ships, submarines, generators. A $20 trillion industry. Rudolf Diesel was a brilliant German engineer who spent years developing an engine more efficient than gasoline. His diesel engine could run on vegetable oil, peanut oil, basically any fuel. By 1900, diesel engines were powering factories and ships worldwide. Patents secured, fortune made. Diesel was a titan of industry, or so everyone thought. On September 29, 1913, Diesel boarded the SS Dresden in Antwerp, Belgium, heading to London for a business meeting. He had dinner with fellow passengers, went to his cabin around 10 p.m., and was never seen again. The next morning, his bed was untouched. His nightclothes laid out but never worn. His cabin locked from the inside. Rudolf Diesel had vanished. 10 days later, a Belgian ship found a body floating in the English Channel. Too decomposed to bring aboard, but they removed personal items. Diesel's son later identified them as his father's belongings. The official verdict? Suicide. Diesel had financial troubles, they said. Depression, they claimed. But here's the problem. Diesel's cabin was locked from the inside. How do you lock a door from inside and then jump overboard? Plus, investigators found something interesting after his death. Diesel was heavily in debt, yes, but the night before he disappeared, someone gave his wife a bag. His instructions? Don't open it until a week after I leave. Inside? Cash and documents detailing all his debts. like he knew something was coming. Some historians believe German agents killed him to prevent his engine technology from helping British submarine development before World War I. Others think Big Oil didn't appreciate an engine that could run on vegetable oil. The mystery? Never solved. Rudolf Diesel, creator of the diesel engine, disappeared from a locked cabin on a ship in 1913. His body allegedly found days later, but never properly identified. Today, diesel engines are a multi-trillion-dollar industry. The man who invented them? Lost at sea under extremely suspicious circumstances. But let's jump forward to 1998, because Stanley Meyer had something even more controversial than diesel. This guy claimed to have invented a car that ran entirely on water. Not hybrid, not hydrogen extracted at a plant. Water. Plain tap water. Stanley Meyer was a prolific inventor from Ohio. The local patent office reportedly respected him so much, they allegedly approved anything with his name on it. In 1977, Meyer filed for a patent for a water fuel cell. His claim? He could split water into hydrogen and oxygen using far less energy than conventional electrolysis. Then burn the hydrogen to power a car. The exhaust? Water vapor. Zero emissions. Meyer outfitted a dune buggy painted with "water-powered car" in huge letters. He toured colleges. He got physics professors to examine it. Many signed off saying it worked. He demonstrated it publicly. Thousands witnessed it running. Then things got weird. In 1996, 2 investors who'd bought dealership rights sued him for fraud. A judge ordered Meyer to let expert witnesses examine the car. Meyer made excuses, refused testing. The experts who finally saw it concluded there was nothing revolutionary about the cell at all, and that it was simply using conventional electrolysis. The court found Meyer had committed gross and egregious fraud and ordered him to repay $25,000. But here's where the story gets dark. March 20th, 1998. Meyer met with 2 Belgian investors at a restaurant in Grove City, Ohio. He ordered cranberry juice. Minutes after his first sip, Meyer jumped up and ran outside. His brother Stephen followed him. Meyer was violently vomiting on the sidewalk. He turned to his brother and said 5 words. "They poisoned me." Then he collapsed, dead at 57. The coroner's report? Cerebral aneurysm, natural causes, no poison detected in his system. But Stanley Meyer had no prior medical issues, no history of aneurysms, no symptoms. And those last words, "They poisoned me." Stephen Meyer has never believed it was natural. The circumstances were too convenient. Meyer had just refused to sell his technology to oil companies. He'd been threatened multiple times. Now he was dead. The water-powered car? Stolen from Meyer's garage 1 week after his death. His brother said unidentified people took the dune buggy and all Meyer's instruments. The vehicle was later found, but all the technology was gone. Meyer's patents? Expired. Public domain. Yet no car manufacturer has ever incorporated his designs. If it was fraud, why steal the car? If it worked, why suppress it? True or not, Stanley Meyer's last words were, "They poisoned me." And he died before anyone could definitively prove or disprove whether water could really power a car. But at least Meyer got some publicity before his death, because Tom Ogle never lived to see mainstream success. This 24-year-old mechanic from El Paso claimed to have built something just as revolutionary, a car that got 100 miles per gallon in 1977. Tom Ogle was a high school dropout, self-taught mechanic. One day in 1977, the 21-year-old converted a 1970 Ford Galaxy, a 4,000-pound gas guzzler that normally got 13 miles per gallon, into something impossible. He removed the carburetor and fuel pump, replaced them with a black box filter. His system vaporized gasoline instead of spraying liquid fuel. The result? 100 miles per gallon. On April 30th, 1977, Ogle drove his Galaxy 200 miles from El Paso to Deming, New Mexico, on exactly 2 gallons of gas. Witnesses measured it. Engineers inspected the car for hidden fuel tanks. Found none. No evidence of fraud. The media went crazy. International financiers contacted him. Oil companies. vehicle manufacturers. Everyone wanted a piece of the Ogle mobile. Ogle was 21 years old, wearing a $1,200 watch and a 3.5-carat diamond ring, riding in a custom limousine. He sold the marketing rights to his invention for royalties. He told reporters, "I hope I'm one of the most important people on Earth right now." Then everything fell apart. First, the company he sold rights to, Advanced Fuel Systems, stopped paying him. They said they were developing a different system, not his invention, so no royalties. His monthly $5,000 checks stopped. Then the IRS came after him for $20,000 in back taxes. Then the SEC served injunctions alleging antitrust violations. His first diagnostic car center opened in 1979. It closed immediately. His business failed. His wife left him, taking their 5-year-old daughter. Tom Ogle's life was spiraling. April 14, 1981. Ogle was shot outside a bar in El Paso. Stomach wound. Survived. Police guarded his hospital room for unknown reasons. No one was ever charged. Ogle became paranoid. Started gambling at pool halls. Lost heavily. Told his lawyer Bobby Perel that he believed people were drugging his drinks. August 19, 1981. Tom Ogle went drinking at the Smuggler's Inn. Later that night, he collapsed at his girlfriend's house. Dead at 26. The autopsy showed massive amounts of Darvon, a tranquilizer, combined with alcohol. 20 pills worth in his system. Official ruling? Suicide. Or accidental overdose. Pathologists weren't sure. But Ogle's lawyer and friends insisted there's no way he would have taken 20 Darvon pills while drinking heavily. They believed it was neither suicide nor accident. Tom Ogle's invention died with him. His patents exist. Public record. But no car company has ever used his vapor carburetor design. The 100 mpg carburetor became an urban legend. Was it suppressed? Or did it simply not work as claimed? Tom Ogle took the answer to his grave at 26 years old, with a belly full of tranquilizers. But some inventors didn't just threaten billion-dollar industries. They threatened national security. Because Eugene Mallove was a cold fusion advocate, and his work terrified the nuclear energy establishment. And unlike the previous inventors, we know exactly who killed him. The question is, was it really random? Eugene Mallove was a brilliant scientist, MIT graduate, master's degree in aeronautical engineering, chief science writer at the MIT News Office. Then in 1989, everything changed. Stanley Pons and Martin Fleischmann announced cold fusion, nuclear energy produced at room temperature in a test tube. The scientific establishment laughed, called it fraud, said it was impossible. Eugene Mallove investigated, and he concluded they were right. Cold fusion worked. In 1991, Mallove wrote a blistering resignation letter to MIT, accusing the institution of scientific fraud. He claimed MIT researchers deliberately misrepresented cold fusion data to discredit it. "I am outraged, embarrassed, and amazed at what has happened here," he wrote. He left MIT and dedicated his life to cold fusion, founded Infinite Energy magazine, created the New Energy Foundation, wrote Fire from Ice, a book defending cold fusion that was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. For 15 years, Mallove was the loudest voice saying cold fusion was real and being suppressed. He appeared on radio shows, gave lectures, challenged the scientific establishment openly. Then, in spring 2004, something incredible happened. The U.S. Department of Energy announced they would review cold fusion research again. After 15 years of ridicule, Mallove was about to be vindicated. He was in great spirits, excited. This was his moment. May 14, 2004, Mallove drove from his home in New Hampshire to Norwich, Connecticut, to clean out his childhood home. He'd recently evicted tenants, the parents of a man named Chad Schaefer. That evening, someone beat Eugene Mallove to death in the driveway of his childhood home. 32 lacerations to his face, crushed trachea, brutal, personal, vicious. His van was stolen, his wedding ring, his MIT class ring torn from his finger, his wallet, his phone, his camera, everything gone. Some people immediately suspected this wasn't a robbery. This was a hit. Mallove was about to see cold fusion reviewed by the Department of Energy. What if it worked? That's trillions in fossil fuel and nuclear energy profits threatened. But in 2010, police arrested Chad Schaefer and Moselle Brown. Schaefer's parents were the evicted tenants. Mallove confronted Schaefer while cleaning the house. They beat him to death. Schaefer pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter, sentenced to 16 years. Brown was convicted of murder and conspiracy, sentenced to 58 years. Case closed. Random violence. Wrong place, wrong time. Or was it? The timing seems awfully convenient. Mallove gets killed weeks after the DOE agrees to review cold fusion. His MIT class ring torn off his finger like someone wanted a trophy. The brutality of 32 lacerations to the face. Schaefer and Brown are in prison, that's fact. But some cold fusion researchers still wonder, did someone pay them to do it? Or was Eugene Mallove really just unlucky? We'll never know. Eugene Mallove was murdered, his killers caught and convicted. But the question of whether it was truly random or a targeted assassination remains unanswered. Today, cold fusion research continues. LENR, low-energy nuclear reactions, is gaining credibility. And Eugene Mallove never lived to see it. But at least Mallove's invention wasn't completely forgotten, because Maurice Ward took his secret to the grave, literally. And I mean that. This British hairdresser invented a material that could withstand nuclear blasts, and then refused to tell anyone how he made it. Maurice Ward was a hairdresser in Hartlepool, England. Not a scientist, not an engineer. A hairdresser who liked mixing chemicals in his spare time. In 1985, 55 people died in 40 seconds aboard a plane at Manchester Airport. Not from fire, from toxic smoke inhalation. Ward became obsessed with creating a fireproof, non-toxic material. He experimented with heat-resistant plastics in his kitchen, using a blender. Mixed up to 20 formulations a day through trial and error. Eventually, he created a paste-like substance he could coat on anything. He tested it with a blowtorch on his own hand. The material dissipated the heat perfectly. No burn. He couldn't even feel warmth. His 8-year-old granddaughter named it Starlite. In 1990, Ward appeared on the BBC's Tomorrow's World. The demonstration was simple. They coated a raw egg with Starlite and hit it with a blowtorch for 4 minutes. When they turned off the flame, the egg's surface was barely warm. They cracked it open. Raw inside, untouched. The demonstration went viral by 1990 standards. Suddenly Boeing wanted it, NASA wanted it, the British military wanted it. The British Atomic Weapons Establishment tested Starlite under simulated nuclear flash conditions. 10,000 degrees Celsius, the temperature of the sun's surface. It worked. Starlite could survive a nuclear blast. This should have made Ward rich beyond imagination. Fire protection for skyscrapers, spacecraft heat shields, military applications. Endless possibilities. But Ward refused every deal. He wouldn't patent Starlite because that would require revealing its composition. He wouldn't let anyone keep samples for extended testing, feared reverse engineering. He had to be present whenever anyone handled it. He even made people wash their hands afterward in case they had particles under their fingernails. Boeing offered money. NASA offered money. Ward kept saying no. Or he'd demand one price one day, then change it tenfold the next. Organizations got frustrated. Negotiations failed. Nobody could work with him. In 2011, Maurice Ward died at age 78. The formula for Starlite died with him. Before his death, Ward hinted in interviews that his family might know the formula. After his death, his family said he took the secret to his grave. In 2013, an American company called ThermoShield claimed they bought all rights to Starlite from Ward's family. They got his samples and handwritten notes, but not the actual recipe. Today, the exact formula for Starlite is still unknown. The material that could withstand a nuclear blast? Lost forever because one hairdresser was too paranoid to share it. Maurice Ward held his invention so tightly that in the end, he earned nothing from it. And the world lost a technology that could have saved countless lives in fires, plane crashes, and disasters. The irony is perfect. Ward invented Starlite to save lives after 55 people died in a fire. His refusal to share it has potentially cost thousands more lives that could have been saved.